KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Yo, what's up? I'm gonna kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like that? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken from tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? Yep. Time to make the change. Here we go. We are the people who can do it. Oh yeah.
We'd like to say good morning. Good morning. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm here from 7 to 9 each Saturday morning, and we'd like to thank all of you for listening. And we're here, right here on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. All righty, we have Clint producing. We have William Dockery. We have Action Annie. All are here in the studio and ready to go. We're in the midst of our winter pledge drive, the first pledge drive of the year, the winter pledge drive. And we got a lot of things going on, a lot of things to talk about, but we do need your tax-deductible pledges to come in. And you can call us at 972-647-1893 with your pledge. We need that pledge to stay on the air. 972-647-1893. We got a lot of perks like all the shows that the KNON, the voice of the people. We have a Mardi Gras t-shirt now. It's in yellow and gold, and it's purple. We got some of everything. We got Mardi Gras beads, 36-inch green beads, and different things like that. Just a lot of stuff for the Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is what, the 12th or the 13th, something like that. And those who are not going to New Orleans or Mobile for Mardi Gras, you will have Mardi Gras all over Dallas, and KNON is having Mardi Gras here. So you can get into the Mardi Gras spirit right now. Now, y'all do know Mardi Gras really started off as a religious holiday. It's supposed to be, but anything but that now. But anyway, that's how it started. But, really, a lot of people don't realize that the Mardi Gras started in Galveston, Texas, here in the United States. So, but it's a lot of things going on, a lot of things we need to talk about this morning, but we need pledges coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Once you get that number right, get it right. 972-647-1893, one of the most well-known telephone numbers in all of Dallas-Fort Worth, all of North Texas. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Call that number to get in and make your pledges this morning. We need some pledges coming in. We got a lot of money we got to raise. I think it's about $4,000. I've got to raise that, and we need to really get rolling with these tax-deductible pledges. You know, you can deduct these pledges off your tax and write them off and do things. See, it's a win-win situation. You get to write it off and support my show and support KNON all at the same time. Win-win-win situation. And we need to start with some winners this morning. We need to get things going. We try to bring you the best in talk radio. We are a station that we cater this particular show caters to African Americans. We talk to you in the fashion that whatever you'd like to talk about, and we cater. But we talk to all people. All people are welcome to talk. But this is an African American centered program, for the simple fact that we have issues that's germane only to us, issues that have relevance to us, trying to uplift and motivate and boost, educate, inform our community, the African American community, but lifting us up, lift up America. So we got a lot of things we want to talk about this morning, because we want to talk about immigration reform and also the gun laws. We're going to talk about those two things. Those are two of the hottest items we have on the agenda right now. They are red hot. And I want to hear your true gut feelings on both issues. I've talked to people about gun laws, and some say I'm not getting rid of mine. But what about assault weapons? What about weapons that can hold 30 rounds, 100 rounds, look like military weapons? Are those weapons needed to go hunting with? I mean, hunting for animals. Usually those weapons they use to go hunt human beings with. So we got a lot of things to talk about. We got some announcements we're going to make, and we'll get those announcements in. Alrighty. And also we're going to talk about, should President Obama can you find out Clint if they've had her funeral yet? This is Hadaya Pendleton in Chicago, Illinois. Young girl, majorette. Beautiful young lady, smart, honor student, killed, got caught in crossfire between two gangs, killed, just after performing in the presidential inaugural parade. My God, I obviously saw her. We obviously saw her. So, but it's such a sad situation. Should this be a funeral, if they have not already had, that the president needs to attend? What about that? Clint's looking that up right now, and we'll find out when is the funeral, or have they already have it? They had not. Should the president be a part of that funeral? Should he speak? If he's invited to speak, should he be a part of that funeral? It's heart-wrenching to see how things go, and a child with so much promise, and all children need their lives and should live a good life, but it's sad. Now, those of you, please, thank you for calling in your pledge, but please be patient. I've noticed some people have lighted the lines up, and then some have gone off. Be patient with Annie is taking the pledge is in, and she's just let it ring till she get to you. She will get to you. All righty. The visitations is Friday, February 8th, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. The wake is a Saturday, February 9th at 9 a.m. Have they said when the funeral is going to be? With the wake. The funeral and the wake will be simultaneous. So that will be Saturday, February 9th at 9 a.m. Should the president go to this funeral? Should the president be a part of this? This young lady performed at his inaugural. And, it hurts. See, we talk about the 20 children that was killed in Connecticut, and that's so sad. But my God, just the city of Chicago, I've forgotten the number of children 18 and under that was killed. Clinton is looking that up. 18 and under that was killed in the city of Chicago.
They said that was the 42nd slaying in January.
That was the 42nd slaying in January of 2013. But I know it was over 500 slayings in 2012. And I used to remember that number, something like 169 of them were children under 18 and under. What a sad situation. What a sad situation. What are we going to do with all of this? We need those pledges coming in. Light the lines up. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Talking about assault weapons. Weapons. It used to be not only assault weapons, but the Saturday night specials. That's what's usually happening in our neighborhood, is the little Saturday night specials. What are we going to do about the murder of so many of our young people, our people in general? Also, we want to talk about immigration reform. Pro or against? African Americans, where do you stand? Pro or against immigration? Do you think it should be? Or do you think it should be in a way where everyone have to get in line like everyone else? Immigration used to be a system where you could come and apply in America, but you used to almost have to have something special going on, being oppressed or something like that, or having something to offer America to come. What are we going to do with immigration reform? The president is 100% behind it. Do you agree or disagree with the president on this particular issue? Immigration reform. And we need your pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. The show needs your support. We need you to support us. 972-647-1893. All right, let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Lee. All righty? Good morning, Lee.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Man, we're doing great. I wanted to speak with you in reference to the immigration reform. It's funny how our president is pushing. You know, we have an agenda to help these some of these immigrants, or actually the illegals that are here, and we set up programs that are going to allow them to come into our country legally. But we have, like I say, you know, I don't know if people are watching, but like I say, we have minorities that are trying to get it.
Hello? Did we lose him?
Sound like it.
Coming over here. They're coming over here on boats and ships and tubes, but then we keep sending them back. But then we're going to allow the Hispanics from Mexico to come on in and infiltrate our system. But it's not. They're not going to. We're not going to reform ourselves first. We're not going to help the people that kind of look like us first. You know, when we've always been the ones to struggle in America, we've always been the one that has had the problems in America. But our president is willing to reach out to the Hispanic community before actually trying to rebuild the ones that are already here, which is our African American people.
So you're saying that he should have been helping those coming from places like Haiti and other countries before he helped those coming from Central and South America?
Well, like I say, really not even necessarily help those, but again, we've always watched how they turned away the darker skinned people. They turn away the darker skinned people, but then they'll allow the lighter skinned people to come on in. It's always accepted if you're lighter. If you're lighter, you're right. But if you're dark, let's get back into the darkness.
All righty. So you think African Americans should not support immigration?
I say on the
immigration reform. Let's put it like that.
On the immigration, correct.
All righty. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, thank you for your call. 972-647-1893. We need some pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. We need pledges coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Oh, we got a lot of perks. We got everything you can think of. If you want it, you got it here on Knon. You know, we always have the mugs, the T-shirts, the different things like that. We got all kinds of perks here in the studio ready to give to you. And with your pledges, and you can get everything that you think of. So we need you to call us at 972 647-1893 is their number to call. 972-647-1893. We have our black sweatshirt pullover, a hoodie with the front hand pockets and all of that, in sizes from small to XXL. You can get one of those for just a $75 pledge. All right, a black fleece throw blanket with a white Knon embroidered logo in the corner. Perfect for keeping you warm on the couch. Oh, man. Yeah, I got to get you a blanket for just $75 pledge. Also, you can get a black ladies long sleeve crew neck T-shirt with a pink Knon 89.3 FM Voice of the People design on it. You can get one of those for just $50. They come from in sizes from small to XXL. A short sleeve, soft style T-shirt. All right, a touch of a gray Knon Voice of the People. You can get one of those from small to XXL. All right, just for a $40 pledge. $40 pledge will get you that. And we need you to support the show. Normally, I don't read hardly too many of these things because, you know, if you pay your money, you can get them. But we want you to pledge to this show because the show is coming to you. We deliver to you. We allow you to speak your piece. Some of you have these thoughts on your minds, and you can call us at 972-647-1893. Whatever you're thinking about. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. Let's call. Come on, let us call. Come on. Call now. 972-647-1893. Let's call your tax deductible pledges in. Call them in. The more you call in, more you light these lines up calling your pledges in. We can talk about issues. We can talk about gun control. We can talk about immigration reform. We can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about this morning if there's something special on your mind. Also, I'd like to ask the question, should President Obama go to the funeral of Hadiya Pendleton, the young lady, a majorette for one of the schools there in Chicago, who performed in the parade at his inauguration, was killed just some days right after that inauguration, right after being in Washington, D.C., there performing at the presidential inaugural parade. She was killed. She got caught in a crossfire between two groups. Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, somehow it went out. Something went out. But she got caught in a crossfire between two groups. And she's now no longer with us. She was killed. This is an everyday happening almost in Chicago. And it's an everyday happening in all cities across America. We need to know. Should the president go to that funeral? Should he say, wait a minute, it's time for the crime to stop right here in my hometown? The young lady was killed less than a mile from the president's house. Less than a mile from his house. What can we say? Should he make this particular trek to back home to Chicago to say enough is enough? We've had too many killings in our city here in Chicago, in my hometown, almost in my neighborhood. They're killing each other. Young people. Call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Need your tax deductible pledge. Need the money coming in. All right, let's go to line one and say good morning to Collis. All right, good morning, Collis.
Good morning. How you doing, Pastor?
Fine. How are you this morning?
All right. I experienced. I've never been prejudiced in my life. In the past month, I went to work for a company, and it was mostly Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
And all our meetings in the morning was held in Spanish, and I was trained on this setting machine.
Mm-hmm.
They told me, take your time, be 30 days before you learn. Well, the guy that was training me didn't speak good English.
Okay.
And so everything I learned, I had to ask the price. And I had a question about a machine they never could answer, and I went to ask them this morning, and they took me off the machine. I worked all day, and I was terminated. And we need to be careful of the rules we make for ourselves in the USA. I figure if we're going to come over here, we need to keep our English-speaking language available, especially in a workplace. And it was a shocker to me because I've never experienced any type of prejudice in my life.
How old are you?
I'm 52. My daddy.
And you never experienced prejudice? And you 52 years old?
Not like that. I mean, I could reach
Come on,
back.
man. Come on. Give me one just a little bit better than
And guess what else?
Huh?
My stepdaddy was a country and western disc jockey.
Yeah, but that's still,
I
I don't care if he was a country and western singer. He could have been Charlie Pride. But you going to tell me you 52 years old and never experienced prejudice in your life?
Not in the workplace, not like that, not at that significant. No, I haven't.
Where have you worked? Let me enter this world that you live in.
I worked for John Burns Floor Covering for 13 years. In 1989, I went to work for myself, but I've never experienced prejudice like that.
Like that?
No, so it was. I'm still shocked though.
You still shocked?
I mean, it was something. I'm in shock. I never.
You shocked over prejudice, and you 52 years old?
Like that, you see it, and you thinking. I'm thinking nothing like that's gonna happen to me. I guess if the guy was a Caucasian, I'll be more tolerable to accept it. Maybe that's what my problem is. But since it was a Hispanic situation, it just got me, because I figure we come from the same way.
Why did you think that?
They wasn't enslaved, but once they come over here, they was called, different names other than Hispanic, and so were the black people. And it took me for a shocker yesterday.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to talk about this father because I can't believe a man your age have never experienced prejudice like that. No, your upbringing don't have anything to do with that. No,
maybe I'm the blessed person.
Well, maybe you are naive about and don't recognize racism when you see it. But anyway, I'm up against a short break. I got to cut it. Thank you for your call and comment. Thank you, sir. All right, that clears the line, 972-647-1893. If you'd like to call, if you have comments, we certainly would appreciate your tax-deductible pledge at 972-647-1893. We'll be right back.
Community radio provides the kind of programming you won't find anywhere else on the dial. Nowhere else can you find such a variety of formats and personalities in North Texas as on KNON. But this is only possible through the support of our listeners. KNON depends on listener support to stay on the air. Now is the time for you to help keep this show on the air. This pledge drive will continue until the station reaches its goal. If you're waiting out the pledge drive, you might be waiting out the existence of this show on KNON too. So don't wait for someone else to do it. Without the support of people like you, there wouldn't be any community radio on the air in North Texas. So take a few minutes and make a pledge. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 to keep your favorite programs on KNON.
Given his own cool reserve and his first-term penchant for pursuing a tepid middle-right governing agenda, I didn't expect to get much warmth from Barack Obama's inaugural address. I was surprised. In his speech, the re-elected president actually showed some FDR jut-jawed presidential flair. Rooting his address in America's solid progressive values, he issued a call for the great majority of our people, the middle class and the poor, to join him in a nationwide campaign to rebuild our country's infrastructure, our ladder of upward mobility, and most importantly, our sense of shared purpose. Predictably, right-wing pundits and defenders of the corporate order decried his speech as partisan and socialist. But in fact, the best word to characterize the speech is simply American. It was a straightforward restatement of the grassroots principles that the founders first articulated. It's no accident that his most used phrase 5 times was, "We the people," the opening words of the remarkably progressive preamble to our nation's founding document. We, the people, still believe that every citizen deserves a basic measure of security and dignity, Obama reminded us. We do not believe that in this country, freedom is reserved for the lucky or happiness for the few. The commitments we make to each other through Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, these things do not sap our initiative, they strengthen us. They do not make us a nation of takers. They free us to take the risks that make this country great. This is Jim Hightower saying, at this difficult juncture in America's long and uncertain journey toward egalitarianism, when powerful forces of elitism are trying to push our society down the dark alley of plutocracy, this was the speech we needed. Read it for yourself at www.whitehouse.gov/blog/inaugural address.
All right, we're back on Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host, and we love to see your calls coming in at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. I sometimes I get over the some things to me, maybe you haven't experienced racism and prejudice in your life, but if you haven't, I got a sneaking suspicion you're only about a second old, if you're that old. 52 years? Come on. I don't care what level whether it be on the job, off the job, man, you can't even stay in your own house and not experience it. Naive about it. I don't want to see it. I don't know. I'm sure this caller was, I guess he was really thinking about what he said, and to me it's utterly ridiculous. 972 and call. I wish you'd call back next week, and we would try to get on. We sit down and discuss this, because I don't want people out there listening to this. See there, it's gone. No, it's not. It's not going anywhere. Jim Crow may be dead, but Jim Crow Jr. or Jim Crow III is alive and well. Believe me. In fact, he's shopping now. He's in his three-piece suit now, and he's Jim Crow Esquire now. But he is not going anywhere. 972-647-1893. So keep on calling. If you get all our lines are busy, if you get a busy signal, please call back. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Sylvia. All righty. All right.
Good morning. Good morning. I appreciate you taking my call.
Good idea.
I was calling. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. I really can, Sylvia. Yes.
Okay. I was calling in to share something with you that happened to me on my job. I have 25 people, me being the only African American. I was laid off. Laid off. Over the telephone, they called me and laid me off over the phone with no reason at all. Didn't tell me nothing of why I was laid off. So, all Hispanic, me being the only African American, all Hispanic, and they're all family. So, my thing is that a form of racism, discrimination, prejudice, or is that something they have the right to do?
Well, you said, was this a family-owned company?
No, it's not a family-owned company. It's owned by someone else. They just all worked there, as I did.
And you were the only one fired?
I was the only one laid off. They called me over the phone January the 2nd. They
didn't have the nerve to tell you face-to-face?
Didn't have the nerve to tell me face-to-face. And I had been there longer than most of the people that still there. But they're all family.
All right. How do you feel about immigration reform?
I feel like that we as African Americans should really truly search our heart and think before we speak. But I don't think it would be right for us to allow them to come over here and take over what we trying to have. Just think about our children that's coming up. If we allow that to happen, then they won't have a future.
All right. Well, why is it we're not hiring our own people? What is it? What do you think?
I really can't say why we're not hiring our own people, but it's a shame that we're not, because we are good workers, because I know I am. And I know my mother was before she passed. She worked at one job for 43 years. And we are good workers. And some of us are lazy, but most of us that's up in age, we're out there to try to work. A lot of people out there just to get a paycheck. But we're out there to try to work. And it's wrong that we don't hire our own people, and you do have a lot of African-American business people that have their own business that can hire African-American people, and give them a chance. Give them a chance. And if they don't do what's right, then you take care of your business. But give them a chance, because if you don't give them a chance to try to make it on a job, they're going to do what they have to do to survive in this world, and that's where all the crime come in at.
Yeah. All righty. So you're saying we should be for or against immigration?
Against.
Against. All right. All right, they clears the line. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Lily. All righty. Good morning, Lily.
Oh, good morning. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I didn't hear you say my name. How you doing, Rev Barnett?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great.
It's a pleasure to be speaking this morning. Towards immigration, it's just to the point now, everywhere you go, I don't care where you go, banks or wherever you go, convenience stores or whatever, it's mostly Spanish people. It's like, they're just about taking over. You know what I'm saying? And other people need to work as well. A lot of times they get in these positions and stuff. That's all they do. They hire their people. I noticed that Chase Bank, well, my granddaughter used to work as a black, but she's real fair-skinned. A lot of them thought she was a Spaniard. But it's just primarily, especially in Pleasant Grove, they're primarily Spanish.
You talking about the one on Lake June?
I'm talking about the one on St. Francis.
On St. Francis?
And, I'm not prejudiced, you know what I'm saying? But right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Our people just more or less being pushed out of the economic system. And yes, I am a business owner. I've been a business owner for 18 years. I've been doing taxes for 16 years, and I do hire, my own color, and I am on a guess it's a campaign or whatever you want to call it, to try to create more jobs as an entrepreneur. I have my own roofing company. It's only a couple years old, but almost 2 years old and everything. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm more or less trying to hire second chance type people, though. People come out of prison and can't find no job because they got this felony against them. And once they serve their time, it's a shame that they still have to wear their jacket on their back. If you serve your time, you through, and you should have a clean slate to start all over again. So I am trying to create jobs specifically for black men, and of course I won't be prejudiced like they. I would hire some whites and Mexicans too, as far as they're concerned. But I'm like you. I feel like we as blacks, and I'm not all that what you call it, rich or anything like that. But there are some blacks in positions whereby they can create jobs to help one another. I stand on Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter, when the Lord says that we should be the lender and not the borrower. I also do short-term loans as well. But we should be the lender and not the borrower. We should be
the head, not the tail.
Not the tail.
Yeah.
And so we got to get out there and try to help ourselves.
We need to help ourselves.
We always wait for the crumbs off the table. We got to start creating things for ourselves. That's what we need to do. On this gun control stuff, you got to have a gun. I'm a Christian, and I just think, you don't need no guns. The Lord's going to take care of you. It's some crazy folks out there. I dare say anybody run right here and have a place to live and don't have some type of weapon to protect themselves, because we live in a crazy world. That woman that...
What about assault weapons? Assault weapons. With these magazines.
That they killed in that apartment and tortured her for 3 or 4 hours. I knew that woman. She had some form of a weapon, they would have took out of there. They had been gambling in front of her apartment. They had been selling drugs in front of the apartment. She asked them to get some out in front of the apartment, and them little boogers went in there and killed that woman. You hear me? Had she had a gun, they would have got up out of there. And people said, you know, Sister Marion, you shouldn't have no gun and everything because we're supposed to trust the Lord. The Lord tells you don't be no fool also. And I feel like if they would have came in there, I would. They said we supposed to be gentle as a dove or some kind of loose goose. I said, well, you know what? If they come up in there, I'm going to be wise and I'm going to shoot them gently. But they're going to get up out of my house.
All right.
My place of business.
All righty. Thank you for your call and comment. All right. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We're in the midst of our winter pledge drive, and we need your tax-deductible pledges coming in. Call us at 972-647-1893. They're standing by, ready to take your pledges. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. That is the number to call. All right, let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Ed. All righty. Good morning, Ed.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing just great this morning. I was calling in. I was sitting there listening to the radio. You know, my thing is...
Please turn your radio down. We're getting an echo from your radio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but we're hearing your radio also.
Okay, hold on. I'm turning the radio down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was calling to ask you that, you know, a lot of folks...
You still have your radio up.
With each other, and I didn't deal with prejudice. I didn't deal with white, black, Hispanic. But I'm just been retired now. I just retired at age 49, 53 now. But you know, my thing is, it's a lot of folks that come over here and land up here home on a break. But I'm a descendant of a king, queen, and warrior, because that's what they were in Africa. But you know what my thing is? I don't have a problem with people coming over here, because my race of people, the only people was forced to come. Now that they said the government finna pay the Indian, the full-blooded Indian. But I wonder when I'm going to get my 40 acres of mule. The German paid the Jews, and I need a new pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? And for this brown-skinned brother to come in from Mexico, I don't have a problem with them. But they'll come over and try to make a better life for themselves. The black race, a lot of Negroes that they talk black, but they walk white. You have a good day, sir.
All righty. We thank you for your call. And that, I mean, you are for immigration, right? I guess.
No, I'm just for the right of all people.
Are you for...
Listen to me. The Spanish man have not hung on my people. The Spanish brother had not enslaved my people. Now, I can go to any place in America, but they're going to watch me from the time I come in that store and the time I come out. You have a good day, sir.
All right. We thank you for your call and comment. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. We need some pledges coming in. We need pledges coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. All righty. Right now, we'd like to thank Reverend Moss for his tax-deductible pledge. Mr. Carlos Robinson, thank you for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Ike Steen, thank you, Ike, for your tax-deductible pledge. Oscar McCraney, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your nice tax-deductible pledge. All of them are good. This is a good one here. All right, we'd like to thank Sandra Jones. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your tax-deductible pledge. And we need more pledges coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to Reverend Moss on line 4. All righty. Good morning, Rev.
Good morning, Rev Barnett. How you doing?
Fine. You doing all right this morning?
Oh, yeah, I'm blessed. First, I want to say the young lady that was on a while ago that she was hiring our own people and giving the convicts, whatever, a chance. I want to let her know that that's a good thing. I appreciate that.
She's beautiful, isn't she?
Yes.
That's
like
beautiful, yeah.
Another comment is, the reason why a lot of us don't hire our own, we don't trust each other. That's another thing. We need to learn to trust one another.
Right.
In that. And for the reform, I think that's a control movement. And we got to look at who this country really belongs to, who was here, who ran people away. This country was built on black folks. Black folks helped build this country. And then once they got it built on black folks and God we trust, then they start pushing us back. Then the Spanish people start coming back home. They was here first.
Well, see, there are a lot of myths about Texas. A lot of people don't understand or know Texas history.
Yeah.
Now, the Spaniards took Texas away from the Tejas Indians and runaway slaves.
All right.
That's who they took it from.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take it from the white man. The white man wasn't here at the time. The slaves had run; those who had ran away in mass numbers ran into the state of Texas, coming out of Alabama, slave states, in the deep South, Georgia, Tennessee, these deep slave states. They settled Texas along with the Indians that were here, and Hispanics came and settled in with them, eventually overthrew them, and this is how the state was settled. But we have to understand what's going on in this. We have multinational corporations, and we just have regular everyday companies that seeks out cheap labor. But Hispanics are smart enough. Once they come here, they'll take a low-paying job. But once they come here, they will come here, and then after they build enough nest egg, they'll venture out on themselves.
Right.
Even if it's getting a rake and a broom and a lawnmower and whatever, they'll start their own companies. Next thing you know, a company they used to work for, they now own. Well, now, can we get angry with them about that? Do we get mad about it? Instead of us making good money and investing that money, we invest in a Cadillac.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna say
Rev Barnett on the.
I tell you what, hold it, Rev. We're up against a short break.
Okay.
Put him on hold, and we'll talk with Reverend Moss when we get back. We'll be right back in just one moment.
This is William, your videographer for the KNON Saturday talk shows. You can watch church information and forum by going to the KNON.org website. Click on schedule to the left side of your screen and choose Church Information and Forum page. Scroll to the bottom of the page and choose your favorite show to watch or download. This show will be ready for viewing by Tuesday lunchtime. Have a great day.
Jim Hightower has moved to be a part of KNON's Speak Up Saturday. Jim Hightower's segments can now be heard at the start of each of KNON's great talk programming, starting at 7 a.m. with Reverend Marion Barnett's show, Church Information and Open Forum, with the news and talk of South Dallas. Then at 9, the CWA presents Workers Beat with the news and talk of the unions, hosted by Gene Lance and Bonnie Matthias. At 10, the Dallas Observer presents Get Off My Lawn with Jim Schutz, bringing you the other side of Dallas news. Finishing up Speak Up Saturdays at 11 is Lambda Weekly with the news and talk of the LGBTQ community, hosted by David Taffet, Patty Fink, and Laurent Landis. Now starting at each of these shows is Jim Hightower's insightful segment at 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 a.m. each and every Saturday morning right here on the Voice of the People, KNON 89.3 FM.
KNON depends on listener support to stay on the air, and now is the time for you to help keep this show on the air. If you like what you're hearing and want to show your appreciation for great community radio, pick up the phone and call to make a pledge. Call 972-647-1893 or go online to knon.org. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Without the support of our listeners, there won't be any community radio on the air in North Texas. So take a few minutes to make a pledge. Call 972-647-1893 or go online to knon.org.
All right, we didn't get my good friend Doc and his rendition this morning. We got Doc. You gonna tell you how to get us on YouTube? No, wait a minute. I'm 20 minutes ahead. It's my mess up. All righty. I'm thinking it's 8, but it's not. All righty. All right, I tell you what. Today is second day of February, Black History Month. And, we'd like to look at a few Black History notes. We're going to look at some going through. And on February 1st, 1926, Dr. Carter G. Woodson initiates Negro History Week. See, when I was in school, it was called Negro History Week, but eventually they made it Negro History, Black History Month, or African American History Month. All right, in 1960 on this date, February 1st, black colleges students sit in at a segregated lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina, beginning the first of the historic sit-ins of the 1960s. These were college students that was riding buses all over the South, going into segregated lunch counters and sitting in, and where they were not to be served, they take over all the counters. Well, if they wasn't going to serve them, they'll sit there till they would get served or else. But by sitting there, they were running businesses away. So they many times, these black college students was arrested. They were arrested. All righty. Also, on this day in 1990, all righty, they made a commemorative stamp to the great reformer on the first gathering of statistical records of lynching, Miss Ida B. Wells. They made a stamp in honor of Miss Ida B. Wells on this day in 1990. All right, in 1871, Judge Franklin Long becomes the first black person to speak in the House of Representatives as a congressman. All right, also in 1902 on January 1st, Langston Hughes was born. Langston Hughes was born. Got a lot more black history we're going to talk about throughout the program. But let's go back to Reverend Moss on line 4. Righty? Rev, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right.
I'll make this quick. Yes, I think the president should go home and let Chicago see him there, and he should make some remarks on guns and whatever. And I'm going back to the young lady that said that she's got a gun. But, you can still be a child of God and have protection in your home. And the Bible says there is a time to kill, but then you got to know when to, if it's self-defense. Now, all those high-powerful guns at home don't need those kind of guns. 19, 20 rounds, you don't need that kind of gun, in your house.
All right.
So thank you for letting me have my words, and I'll talk to you.
I'll put you down as supporting immigration reform or not supporting.
Support it.
Support it. All right, you for immigration reform. All right, thank you, Reverend Moss. All right, they close the line 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We're in the midst of our fall pledge drive. We definitely need your tax-deductible pledges coming in. Come on now. 972-647-1893. Please send those tax-deductible pledges in. Send them in. 972-647-1893. We need those pledges coming in. All right, let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Joe. All righty. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm a Hispanic male, and I listen from 6 o'clock in the morning because I listen to the gospel station for African Americans, which I like a lot. And I was calling and supporting that. I don't support the reform, being a Hispanic.
You don't support it?
I don't support it.
All right. Tell us
My
why.
reason is because I think a lot of Hispanic people, and being Hispanic, a lot of them that come from, for example, Mexico, other countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, they're very, they make the Hispanic people look very bad because they're dirty and they don't respect the laws that we have here in the United States. So that being, I don't respect and I don't support it.
Well, what about they wanting to enhance their living? They want to have a better life for themselves and their families, and they see this big, rich nation that's sits on this North American continent, and Mexico shares the same continent as North America and Canada. And they see all of this wealth, and the only thing that separates them in some areas is just a river that's very small in a lot of parts. So they would rather come and take a chance coming here and making a better living for them and their family than staying where they are and having a much poorer living. Can you blame them for that?
Oh, you can't blame them for that. I mean, that is because of the reason that their country has, pretty much put them in that situation. And I mean, everyone as individually, they are what they make of themselves, Like I was also listening to the caller speaking of who got laid off recently, and the person who also had their own roofing company, and how jobs are being taken by the, Hispanic people. But there is those that are here that have, been raised as just like African American people. But
oh yeah, many. I mean, I grew up with Hispanics in my community. I'm from South Central Texas, and I've always had Hispanics around me all my life. They've been there. There's been a Hispanic community almost everywhere you go in the state of Texas. Everywhere. There were many that were here, but there have been many that have come since then, and many have crossed the borders illegally and come into America, and that's where the immigration reform is desired by many, and some is against it. And are you saying you are against immigration reform?
I am against it.
You are against it, and you are Hispanic.
I am.
All righty. We thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you.
That clears the line. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1892. I want to hear why you are for or against Hispanics coming in, because you never talk about those coming from Europe. They come into the country. Those who would be coming from even Canada. That's never discussed. Let's be for real and talk about what's truly on your mind. I don't dodge the bullet here. I don't half-step and go on. I just call it like it is. This is where many people are pro, against. This is where the big fight is. When they had the big march in Dallas, most of them were Hispanics. Most of them were from Mexico. And we want to discuss it. Let's discuss what's truly on your mind, pro or con. Pro or con. It's, right now it's 4 against, 2 or 4, and I'm sort of surprised about the numbers, but we need you calling in your pledges, and I need you to call in and talk to me, because we still is a talk show. We're still a talk show, but we have to have your money to stay on your air. I think you, and I know you understand this, because I have the best audience of any talk show in Dallas, by far. I have the best audience. I have the smartest audience. I have the most benevolent audience. I have the best people than any audience, any talk show in this town. So, and I'm proud of my audience. I'm proud of my audience. People everywhere, other talk show hosts tell me, man, I even had white talk show hosts tell me, man, you have a sharp audience. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my audience. Things that God has done with this station over the years. We thank you. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go. Well, here all my lines are. Can you get me on line 4? Okay, bring up Danny on line 4. All right, let's see if we got Danny. All my lines are filled, but y'all keep calling. We need the money. Danny, are you there?
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine this morning, up and early.
Yes, glad you are.
Yeah, well, you got some good conversations going.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Just some comments, and a lot of it, I think all old truths still hold true.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do a lot of changing out here to make sense. And some of the calls have been related to Hispanic workers, for instance, being in Chase Bank and so forth. And I agree that it seems as though wherever they began working, all of a sudden they bring in, a slew of friends, relatives, neighbors, family members, whatever. But here's my take on it. We had that opportunity to do that.
Right.
And and I think in many respects, I know that emotionally we're injured, and we go back being injured for really eons at this particular point in this country. And so some of that is the cause of it. But sometimes, since we harp so heavy on affirmative action, sometimes we have to take an affirmative action and do these things. And so what I want to do, as opposed to rehashing the complaint, offer just some solutions, and I've said them millions of times before, but it's stuff that works for me. Now, I've owned more failed businesses than most. The good thing is that I've done okay enough to when they go out of business, I don't starve. But what I feel my greatest asset was, and is that I always use either black contractors, black employees, black suppliers, period. There's never been anything else. Never been anything else.
You know what, Danny, but one thing I noticed, I've seen black businesses, they want the black community to support them, but they don't hardly do any business with nobody black themselves.
They want support in kind. You're absolutely right.
I've seen it happen 1,000 times, man. If you know that we need and depend on one another, but that's something African Americans don't even understand, that no matter whether we like each other or not, we're tied together whether we like each other or not.
Absolutely.
We are weaved and tied together, and as you go, I go. As I go, you go. And if I go down, I'm going to help pull you. I'm going to help pull you down too. It's just that simple.
Well, I think one of the things that work, keeping along the theme of affirmative action, we as consumers or purchaser of goods or services, we got to be affirmative with that black company that we're dealing with.
That's right.
And it's real simple. I'm using you foremost because you're black, and as far as I'm concerned, you appear to be qualified. You got as many qualifications as anybody else that I see.
Right.
What I required you to do, though, in using me as a consumer, I require you to use other black folks that when you do business.
Right.
So it comes down to, it's real simple. You say, well, we don't know nobody who do this. Well, I call over to the black chamber. I say, look, I need a plumber. You got anybody on your list? And they'll give me several to choose from. And if you go on a car dealership, just find the black salesman.
Right.
Ain't no harm in it.
Everybody in America on planet Earth support their own, but us.
Rev Barnett,
everybody.
Right.
If a man see a man of his own ethnicity and he want to help that man make a living, I really don't consider that as racist. It's just people love their own.
You're creating.
The closer you get, the more you love. Because if you got a brother out there and your blood brother is there, who you gonna help?
Well, how much
you gonna help your own?
If you maintain your community, how much better is that for society?
Hey, it helps lift the whole country.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so just request black folk. It's real simple. I'll say this, and here's the only little complaint I'm going to make, because I want to step on a couple of toes. And I'll call out their names. Mount Tabor Church, New Birth. I watched both of them being completely remodeled over the last 20 years. Never saw anything but white folks and Hispanics working on those churches. And I know for a fact, because I know some of the members. Some of the members are contractors.
And they didn't get any. They didn't get any work out of that.
It's dumb. It's not just stupid and ridiculous. It's dumb. They didn't get any work out of it. And now, what was even dumber, they didn't push for work. So it's really, we got a mentality that I don't know if it comes out of a subservient culture. I'm not sure where it comes from. But we got to.
Whatever it is, we got to get out of it.
We got to get out of it, or we're going to go into demise.
All right.
Anyway.
Thank you, Danny. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. Which one is next? Where am I? Is that line 3? Is that Jamie? Let's go to line 3. Is that Jamie? I think. All right. Good morning, Jamie. Anybody on line 3? Jaime, I see. Is this Jaime you got right here? Hello, Jaime? Okay, maybe they're gone. All right. 972-647-1893. Who's next? Line 4? All righty. Who do I have on line 4? I don't know. Line 1. Okay. Joe. Is that Joe on line 1?
Hello? Is it me?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay. I'm Marjorie, and
Marjorie.
To answer the question, I am for the immigration reform.
You for it? Okay.
Because the same free trade agreements, which I opposed from the very beginning, that sent our jobs to China, also sent the Mexicans' jobs to China. And the same billionaires and corporations that are busting our unions are busting their unions in Mexico. And the same free trade agreements that sent our family farmers off the farm sent their family farmers off the farm. And so we've got to work together against this common enemy who's destroying our lives.
Okay, now who is this? We've got this country giving tax credits to corporations that would locate offshore.
Right.
Are the unions fighting hard to put an end to that stupid, ridiculous practice? Are y'all writing the White House? Are you writing the Congress, the Senate? What are unions doing against this?
Yes, I was living in another state up to a couple of months ago, and I was involved there in the immigration reform movement, and I'm writing every politician I can. I'm marching in the streets. I'm writing stuff on the internet, anything I can do, and I just need to get started here in Dallas.
Are you familiar with a show that come on after mine called Workers Beat?
Yes, I do listen to that program.
That's a good one. And I don't know if you called them or not, but that's a good one, I think, for you to connect with and talk to them, because I see everything's happening. I'm up against a short break, and I'll be right back. Give me a call, 972-647-1893. We're in our tax. We're in our pledge drive. Tax. Please call us in a pledge at 972-647-1893. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KNON 89.3 FM Dallas Fort Worth. Pledge now. Call 972-647-1893 now to make your pledge.
What a satisfying sight it would have been for the public to see Lloyd Blankfein, Jamie Dimon, and other high-rolling Wall Street banksters in handcuffs for having illegally foreclosed on the homes of hundreds of thousands of American families. But no. Instead of the kingpins of finance finally having to take responsibility for evicting so many people and wrecking the nation's housing market, not a single one has even been pursued by the law. Rather, federal regulators have negotiated a secret deal with Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and 9 other mortgage lending giants, letting banks pay $10 billion in penalties to end the case against them. The lesson here is clear. If your crime is vast enough, forget doing time. You don't even personally pay the fine. You just unleash your mad dog lawyers to cut a deal, shifting the cost of your felonious profiteering scheme onto your bank shareholders. Letting the chief schemers deflect responsibility also has zero deterrent effect on their future scheming, and it destroys public trust in the notion of equal justice for all. It's not fair, we shout in exasperation. But the big shots shout back, fair? That's where you take your pig to win a blue ribbon. This is Wall Street, baby. Grab all you can. So they're still there, still scheming, profiting, and grinning. In the same week that Goldman Sachs agreed to pay a fine for its illicit treatment of homeowners, it announced that CEO Lloyd Blankfein was awarded some $19 million in pay, including a $6 million bonus. Likewise, J.P. Morgan agreed to a sweetheart settlement for its mortgage malfeasance. Then, a week later, it delivered an $11.5 million paycheck to its chief, Jamie Dimon. This is Jim Hightower saying, anyone who says crime doesn't pay simply is not paying attention to Wall Street.
This is William, your videographer for the KNON Saturday talk shows. You can watch Church Information and Forum by going to the KNON.org website. Click on Schedule to the left side of your screen and choose Church Information and Forum page. Scroll to the bottom of the page and choose your favorite show to watch or download. This show will be ready for viewing by Tuesday lunchtime. Have a great day.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like this? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken for tea is simple and plain. This ain't no.
All right, we're back for hour number 2 on Church Information and Open Forum. I'd like to say good morning to Reverend Scott and all of the gay guys out there on the West Coast, Pastor Scott out in West Dallas, and say good morning to him. All of the good people that listen to this show, I'd like to say good morning to all of you. And I tell you what, today is February 2nd, and on this particular date, in 2009, Eric Holder becomes the first black person to be confirmed as the United States Attorney General on this particular date in 2009. Also, in 1914, Ernest J. Just, biologist, received the Spingarn Medal for Freedom, pioneering research of fertilization and cell division on this date, 1914. On this date in 1827, all right, abolitionist and businessman John Parker is born in Norfolk, Virginia. Also on this date in 1938, Simon Estes, classical concert violinist, is born in Centerville, Iowa. Also on this date in 1914, William Ellsworth, artist, he's an artist, is born in Washington, North Carolina. We got a lot more stuff in black history we're going to throw out at you. All righty, 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We need that tax-deductible pledge coming in. We need that pledge coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. We need you to keep us on the air. Keep us strong. Pledges are coming slow today. They're coming slow. But we need you to step it up. We know you can do it. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We got 2 hours. We want to stay on. We want to stay on 2 hours. We want to stay strong as ever. And you can do it. You can help us with your tax-deductible pledge. We have a lot of perks, a lot of things to give. Order what you want, but we also want to make sure you pledge from your heart, knowing full well we'll do everything to get your information out and bring you good information, inform you about what's going on in this world. So call us at 972-647-1893. All righty, let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Barbara Joe. All righty? Job line. Oh, is that job line? Oh, Barbara. All right. Mr. Barber, are you there?
Yes. Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Good morning, Greg. How are you this morning?
Doing fine, doing fine.
Great, great. Are there any jobs out there?
There are some jobs out here this morning on our SAT job line. There's solutions and Access Today job line brought to you every Saturday morning.
All righty.
7 a.m. to 9 a.m. at Church Information and Open Forum here on KNON 89.3.
All righty. Mm-hmm.
This morning on the job line, we have Porcelanosa as customer service representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.homeeease.com. Once again, that web address is www.homeeease.com. Or Osram and Sylvania is looking for warehouse representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.osram.taleo.net. Once again, that web address for Osram/Sylvania is looking for warehouse representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.osram.taleo.net. Velocity Express is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to send your resume to recruiter999@hotmail.com. Once again, that email address is for you to send your resume to recruiter999@hotmail.com. Floor and Decor Outlets of America is looking for warehouse specialists. They're asking you to apply online at www.flooranddecor.huahrsmart.com. Once again, that web address is www.flooranddecor.huah.hrsmart.com. 1-800-FLOWERS is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.1800flowers.com. Once again, 1-800-FLOWERS is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.1800flowers.com. If you are a child-loving patient and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving patient and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job searches, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job searches, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. The late, great Bob Marley once said, get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. And with that, we bring our SAT job line to a close.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Great job, as always, Mr. Greg Barber. Always do a great job. Thank you, sir. All righty. All right. We're looking at some pledges coming in. Thank you, Ms. Vaughn Wallace. Thank you, ma'am, for your great tax-deductible pledge. Thank you for Reverend Bush. All righty. Thank you, sir, for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you. And we need more pledges coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. That's the number to call. 972-647-1893. We need those pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. They're coming in very, very slow today. We need to speed it up and get those pledges in, and please pay the pledges. They mean nothing unless you pay them. So 972-647-1893. We got perks for you, perks galore. Things that you can get, you name it, it's just too numerous to call off. I'll just be honest about it. I'd be all morning trying to call off all the wonderful perks you get here at Knon for making a tax-deductible pledge. You can get it right, you can write it off. So it's a win-win-win situation all the way around. So call us in a pledge. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All righty, let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Mr. Steen, Mr. Ike Steen. Good morning, Ike.
Good morning. How you doing, Rev Barnett?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing great. Enjoying the program as usual.
Thank you for your pledge too, sir. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I always try to give to keep you on the air in programs like yours. I want to make one thing I want to start out with is, you had a conversation here a while ago about West Nile and spraying and the flu. I want you to keep that on mind. I'm not going to change the subject, but I think all that West Nile spraying they done is weaken everybody's immune system, so we got all these infections and flus and things, but it's not what I
Man, I tell you what, I'm having a hard time kicking this thing. Most of y'all who know me, you know my voice is not strong as it normally is. I'm still shaking, you know.
I was on my job. Mm-hmm. I was on my job when one of those planes flew over, and I got sprayed. I'm still suffering from behind, you know, trying to fight off nasal infections and everything.
Yeah,
I'm
having the same thing. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and it's going to be a while. I think whatever they're spraying is not only killing the mosquitoes, but it's weakening my immune system.
So you're susceptible to most anything now.
Yeah, right. So, but anyway, you were talking about a couple of great topics. One of them is gun control, you know, and should the president go to Chicago to the funeral, I can't say whether he should go or not, because the president has to be secure wherever he goes, and we don't want to just say he should go, then he go and, you know, he's in jeopardy.
Believe me, if the president attends this young girl's funeral, don't worry, the Secret Service will be there in force like you've never want to see it. You don't have to worry about that. But you know, the family has to invite him to have words,
right.
And we ought to understand all of that. And maybe the family may not want him there, but I got a sneaking suspicion they'd love to have him there. And I'm talking about this is a symbolic gesture,
right,
to all of the killing that's going on there in Chicago and in our cities all over this nation. This is one time that he can stand and tell our young people, African American children, and adults and everybody else that's doing this, let's stop the killing.
Right.
This is a time for him to really make a stand. And I think at this young girl's funeral, they got film on, because they filmed a whole parade that they can show her out there at the parade at the inauguration, during the inauguration. And she was out there braving that cold out there in them shore. Believe me, it was cold in Washington. Oh, Lord, it was cold. And I think symbolically, I got a sneaking suspicion he's going to go.
Well, I hope he do. You know, and, I hope they get the
Clint, pull me up the White House number. And I'm going to ask everybody listening to this show, call the White House and ask him to attend. And Clint's pulling me up the number to the White House. I want you all to jam those lines between now and the date of the funeral was on the 9th. I got that information here somewhere. The date of the funeral is Saturday, next Saturday, February 9th. We need to jam those lines at the White House every day, asking the president, please go to this young lady's funeral. Her name is Hadiya Pendleton, Hadiya Pendleton, Pendleton. Ask him to go. He might be planning to go already. They'll let you know if he is. But we want you to ask him symbolically, let him be at this young lady's funeral. All right. The number to the White House is, everybody get this down, 202-456-1111. That's one I can remember now. It's so laid out. 202-456-1111. I can remember that one. You ought to be able. Now I'll announce it some more during the program. All right, eh?
Rev Barnett. One more thing. We talking about gun control. Now, when it comes down to us getting killed and people getting killed in the street, just like you begging the president or trying to get support for him to go, okay, look at the situation down in Kaufman. They automatically dumping money in, trying to put in rewards to find whoever done this terrible thing, you know. But when we get killed, you know, there's nobody saying that they're going to put this kind of money up to find out who killed Ike Steen or somebody like that. But I'm just saying, there's gun control. See, better gun control may have another prosecutor still alive today.
Yeah.
These people got out of control with these high-powered and, you know, these guns that shoot so many times.
They're not needed. They should be outlawed, and everyone should be, who owns one should be able, should be commanded to turn those things in. Those are military weapons, man. Were you ever in that military?
I was 4 years in the military.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. Those are military weapons, man. If you go shoot a rabbit or anything, you destroy them with those things, man. This is not.
They are made to kill people.
They are made to kill people. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna let you go, but on the immigration, I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm not gonna say I'm for it or against it because there's some good things in it, there's some bad things in it. So I'm not saying give everybody over here that came over here illegal, a green light to go, and I'm not saying send everybody back. I'm saying everybody need to be documented and come in legally. That way we won't have so many criminals and drug dealers and diseases coming into our country. Then another thing is, let them get in line behind the people that was already coming in legally. Before you make the illegals legal, make the ones that come in here legally citizens first. God bless you and have a great day.
God bless you. Thank you, Ike. All righty, that clears the line. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Maurice. All righty, Maurice.
How you doing, sir?
Fine. How are you?
Doing great. It's a pleasure to be back on your show once again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm reaching out to you in regards to the immigration reform and knowing that I believe you did speak up on it, that Hispanics aren't the only race that's coming over here illegal. I know myself, there's some Chinese, as well as individuals from Asia, from Russia, that are coming through the same borders as the Mexicans, paying the same fees, if not more, and they're coming into the United States via Mexico illegal, coming through Tijuana. So in this regard, and I'm looking at this, and having been here in Texas now for about 8 years, and having to live amongst the Hispanics, as well as coming in contact with Russians and Asians that are here illegal, and this is coming out of their own mouths, is that, they're coming here because of the opportunities, one, because they can also send money back to their families back overseas, two, and then third part about it, to come over and hopefully in the near future be able to establish their own type of communities here in the United States.
Well, they're doing that.
Yes, sir. And you look at the North Dallas area, and you're seeing how you have your Russian area.
I tell you,
over Midway and Rosemead, over in that area.
I tell you, Maurice, could you hang on a moment, because I've gone way past my break time. I got to take a break. We'll come back to you when I come back.
That'll work, sir.
All righty. Let's take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
KNON depends on listener support to stay on the air. Now is the time for you to help keep this show on the air. If you like what you're hearing and want to show your appreciation for great community radio, pick up the phone and call to make a pledge. 972-647-1893. That's 972-647-1893. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Without the support of our listeners, there won't be any community radio on the air in North Texas. So take a few minutes to make a pledge. 972-647-1893.
Recycle Revolution is a local recycling collection service and community drop-off center. They collect and accept all traditional recyclables, including paper, plastic, aluminum, cardboard, and glass, as well as materials like TVs, computers, lamps, light bulbs, batteries, ballast, and styrofoam. They offer collection services to apartments, condos, and businesses. They also offer a community drop-off located at 1703 Chestnut Street in Dallas. For more information, 214-566-3025 or recyclerevolutiondallas.com.
All right, we're back on Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. We have Clint producing, we have Annie producing, and Doc is filming. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We're in the midst of our Winter Pledge Drive, and we need your tax-deductible pledge. We need that pledge. Please call it in. 972-647-1893. Also, we'd like to thank those who are calling in presents. Thank you, Miss Penny. Petrie. Thank you for your wonderful tax-deductible pledge. Yes, we have cups, Knon glass, Knon caps. Yeah, Doc is putting all this in front of me. So I remember we just got so many perks. It's just so many of them. You can't. It'll take the whole program to read through all of these perks that the station offer. You can get your perks and get your listenership on and get everything on. It's a win-win-win situation all the way around. And then you can turn around and write it off. You can write it off. You can write it off. And you've given it, and you won't miss it. All right, let's go back to line 3 and say, see if Maurice is still there. Maurice,
Yes.
you still here? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, go right ahead, as you were saying.
What I was saying in regards to the Asians as well as Russians that are also moving into the country, also illegal, it's not only Hispanics that are doing it as well, Mr. Barnett, and I have come into knowledge of that. But I guess what I look at, I look and I hear your radio show and I hear all the individuals calling in. I'm 31 years old and I'm an African American. I consider myself a Black American. I've never been to Africa, sir, but I consider myself still an African American, Black American, whatever you want to break it down to. But I see the failures of our culture. I'm 31 again, but I certainly see the failures of individuals that are 52, 60, and empowering young Black men to stand up and do what's right. You have young men going into hip-hop, they thinking that's the way for them to become rich or become known in this country, and it's a failure, sir. It breaks my heart to see this on a day-to-day basis. And I have nothing against any other race, but in regards to my own race, I have as a passion inside of me, I would say, that burns, because I wish that they would do better in regards to knowing better.
You're a wise young man. You're seeing things through clear lenses. We need to improve ourselves.
Correct.
Sure, we're the only race that was brought here and made slaves. Sure, so much have happened. But we've been here long enough to know which way is up. We should know. Right. And we can't bury our heads in the sand and think we're going to rise. We've got to face this challenge head on because history tells us that no group that will not move forward will survive.
That is correct, sir.
If you try to just remain and hold the status quo, we're not going to survive. Not in America. Right. It just don't happen in America. So you got your head on right for a 31-year-old. You're thinking like 31-year-olds of old, like the 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds of old. We were cognizant when I was a boy at a very young age of really what was going on. All righty.
So I guess my question is, being someone, and not to call you old, sir, but how do men, grown men who know this and who are in church, what do they start in regards to going about empowering those who don't know?
Mr. Petrie and I, we're working on a group of seniors our age and some younger, whoever want to join, getting them together, getting young men together, teaching them trades and skills, and see, we can get together architects, engineers, brick masons, those who do carpentry, furniture, interior carpentry, things like that, laying carpet. Learn these skills. Learn these skills. Who do you think make the most money, if we're just going to look at it monetarily? A person that's a contractor, who's doing common everyday labor, a college professor. Who do you think makes the most money?
The laborer.
Thank you. All right. All right.
Hey, God bless you, sir.
God bless you.
Good work.
All right.
And thank you again.
All righty. They cleared the line 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Miss Penny. I don't know why she called herself Penny. She ought to be $1 million. Petrie. Miss $1 Million Petrie, you there?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm excited this morning. I'm very excited about your topic. I just couldn't sit on my hands any longer.
I'm glad I smoked you out. All right.
Yeah. before I go into my field and my soapbox, I just want to, as always, express how important it is to support public radio, public television, and our politicians. Because without those things in place, we struggle.
Penny, you're so right, because I don't have to step around and skirt any issues because y'all support me. I'm not waiting on a big corporation or anybody to buy ads and different things. You, the people, support me so I can talk about anything y'all want to talk about.
And it allow us to comment and talk about anything we want to talk about.
That's right. You got it right.
Realize how important that is. Now, that leads me to my position and my stance on immigration reform. Let me say without a doubt, I am for immigration reform.
All righty.
Rev Barnett, in lieu of this last 4 years politically, we make up less than 14% of the population.
Yes, you're right.
Without the combination of minority support, we would not progress. We cannot. Numbers don't lie.
All right.
So all of those that we aren't, I'm a black and female. We ain't having babies like we used to.
No, and that's bad.
Yeah, it is. And the reality is, in my lifetime, and I'm a half a century plus, we aren't going to see enough to make up more than 14% in a timely manner. I suggest we can stop trying to divide and let them conquer.
Right.
You know who them are. So, our president would not be in office right now without that 72% Hispanic vote. It wasn't our 14% vote, black vote, that put him in office, and so many other local politicians all around the world is making a difference for us. That just doesn't apply politically. I own a business, as you know, my husband and I.
Yeah, that's right.
And
in fact, y'all own more than one business.
Yes, we do. And all of those businesses, thank God, are supported by minorities, including Hispanics.
That's right.
And they will search us out. And I have competition. They will search us out because we are minority. They really will. Language barriers and all. Because they are where we were in the 60s.
All right.
They feel the pressure publicly. People call them out publicly, just like they did us. They still do us, but they do it behind closed doors, give us a few good jobs, and, we all right. But if we don't stop this divide and conquer situation amongst our minority selves, and I'm referring to our minority selves, and when I say that, I don't just mean people of African descent.
On both sides of the fence, yeah.
They will conquer. It's not enough of us to take a position to turn against another them. So we really need to start to look at this thing like they look at it.
Well, some of us...
we are now the majority for the first time.
Yeah.
I stand proud in my 14% population, saying that I'm part of the majority now. What makes us a majority is the combination of Asian, Hispanic, Black, and others.
Well, let me ask you something. You are from Chicago, right?
I am.
Do you think President Obama should attend this young girl's funeral? You were there at the inauguration. I saw you there.
All the way around. Turned his schedule all the way around. I was in Washington when the young lady was performing for the inauguration. I was cold, Rev Barnett.
Yeah, it was cold.
Chicago don't mean I wasn't cold. Look, she went and did that with pride for her community, for her president, under the circumstances, considering what legislatively what they're talking about now in terms of gun control. He could be an advocate. Not let her life be in vain. I think he could use that opportunity wisely.
All right. And they can call the White House, and I'm asking everyone, jam the White House. Call them now. The line's open at 202-456-1111. 202-456-1111. Call the White House and ask him to attend the young lady's funeral in Chicago that lived less than a mile. Well, she was killed less than a mile from the president's home in Chicago.
I know. It's sad. It's sad.
And he needs, that is a symbolic gesture that is needed, that could spread all over the United States. And I hope the family will not get upset. I hope they invite him, and I hope he attends. All right. Thank you, ma'am. And tell your husband to give me a call when I get off there. I got something to talk to him about. Okay.
You got it. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you. All right. That we need some money coming in. Oh, my God. Is that all the money we got? Oh, my goodness. We need some money coming in. 972-647-1893. That's the number to call. 972-647-1893. We need your tax-deductible pledges coming in. We way down. 972-647-1893. We need those pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. We should have 3 times as much at least. Would y'all call them in? We need the money to come in. We need this money. This is not a luxury. This is something that's vital. This is something that's needed. And this is something we must have in order to stay on the air and keep the station on the air. Give us a call with your tax-deductible pledge. You have 30 days or probably till the next pledge drive to pay it. If you don't have the money on hand right now, you'll have it later on during the month or the week or whatever and pay it. So call us. You can call us now. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1892 is am I looking at that right? Is that line 2 is up? Bring me on line 2 and say good morning to Thomas. All right, good morning, Thomas.
Yes, sir. Good morning to one and all.
Good morning.
Just a quick reference regarding the gun control issue. Just wanted to state that, I really think, for me, I believe it is inappropriate for another person to command that I give up something. This is, of course, a nation of freedom of rights and freedom of choice. I would compare that to the hackers. I don't misunderstand my emotion level here. I respect the families and everything. I am totally against using those weapons for what they've been used for. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but look at it from this perspective. You have bullies online, you have hackers online, and people have killed themselves because of being bullied online. I just think it would be inappropriate for someone to say anyone with these high-speed computers should be commanded to give them up. I think the problem is we're blaming the hammer because the carpenter hit the nail wrong. So you can't blame the tool.
So you think we as citizens should have anything the military have?
Honestly, I can tell you, not anything the military has, but of course, I found out that it is legal in certain counties. If you get approval from the county, you can have a fully automatic machine gun, so long as you meet all the requirements. I wouldn't have one, just to say that I have one.
Do you think that's a good law?
As far as being able to have one, sure, by all means.
All right, do you think it's a good law if I decided I wanted an atomic bomb? You think that's a good law to let me have one?
No. There's certain things now. That takes a little above and beyond.
Well, now, wait a minute. I believe to have a machine gun, what do you need with a machine gun? You're not going hunting. You're not going squirrel hunting with a machine gun. Why would you? They're there to hurt people.
That's the point, okay? You're concerned also about the need. It's not always a need. I have one, and I can tell you I haven't fired it more. I've gone to the gun range. It took me a year. Only a year before I actually shot it. I purchased mine. Number one, I bought for resale value because they were talking about gun control, and I thought, well, I'll buy one, and the price will double, and I'll resell it.
But there are a lot of people. You seem to be stable-minded. We have too many unstable people in this country to allow weapons like that to enter into their hands. And the way they're doing it, they're going to these gun shows and buying these particular weapons, and nobody can track them because they don't have to show any identification or anything. There's no background check. This is utterly ridiculous to allow all of this to go on, and these weapons cannot be tracked. So let's get laws against this. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But again, going back to blaming the hammer for the carpenter, I don't.
No. But if you don't have a hammer, you can't hit the nail.
Build a house.
There used to be a time. There used to be a time that if two guys fell out, they'd have a good fist fight. Once the fight's over with, a few minutes, they back buddies again. Today, they get angry, just a moment of anger, they pull out weapons, somebody is injured or killed. That's forever. Let us end this ridiculous mentality, this ridiculous attitude in America. This is wrong.
Let me answer this. I mean, my heart is with the families and, the people who go into these malls. I mean, you have to look at it, and I shouldn't say it like this. That really ain't right. You just can't say to me, you said I'm a sound person. I appreciate that. God bless you. And I am. I think I'm a logical thinking person. With the gun show, you have to implement a program to where the background checks are done. That's the only common sense. I would definitely agree to that. But I think there needs to be greater checks, as far as this is what I would do. Sure, I would make it more of an issue regarding qualifying people to have these firearms. Now,
even a machine gun?
Well, no, you're not going to have you're not going to have that. You're just not going to have that. Those things cost thousands of dollars.
No,
and to own one,
I tell you what, I left here last week. Last Saturday morning, I couldn't get through down by Market Center in 35.
Sure.
It was a gun show. Look, I left here at 9 o'clock. Cars was backed up all the way to the railroad tracks all day. Look, no, these people are buying these weapons. They are hoarding them because they think they're about to be made illegal. They know this is wrong. And think about it, brother. I don't believe most of them are buying those guns for somebody coming from China or some other country. You best better believe why they're buying those guns.
And I'm going to let you go. Are you saying they're buying these guns just to go shoot people?
Am I saying that? Definitely so.
No, sir.
No, I'm saying they're buying them to shoot people. Yes.
No, sir.
Why would you need 100 rounds if you're not going? You're not going to rabbit hunting with 100 rounds. I tell you what, I'm up against a short break. I wish I could dialogue with you more, but I got to take a short break, and we'll be back in just one moment.
Okay,
business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Jim Hightower has moved to be a part of KNON's Speak Up Saturday. Jim Hightower's segments can now be heard at the start of each of KNON's great talk programming starting at 7 a.m. with Rev Marion Barnett's show, Church Information and Open Forum, with the news and talk of South Dallas. Then at 9, the CWA presents Workers Beat with the news and talk of the unions hosted by Gene Lance and Bonnie Mathias. At 10, the Dallas Observer presents Get Off My Lawn with Jim Schutz, bringing you the other side of Dallas news. Finishing up Speak Up Saturdays at 11 is Lambda Weekly with the news and talk of the LGBTQ community, hosted by David Taffet, Patty Fink, and Laurent Landis. Now starting at each of these shows is Jim Hightower's insightful segment at 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 a.m. each and every Saturday morning right here on the Voice of the People, KNON 89.3 FM.
We're back on Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. The lady that called in and said she owned those businesses, would you give us a call back if you can get in at 972-647-1893? If you can get in, please call us. We got one line open right now. If you would call us, we have one line open, and call us, and we'd like to get your name and number. All righty, we'd like to thank this is Mr. and Mrs. William and Joe Dewberry. Thank you. A wonderful pledge. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Dewberry. All righty. Miss Eddie L. Dunson. Thank you, Miss Dunson. Thank you for your great tax deductible pledge. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'd like to thank y'all for your tax deductible pledges. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All righty. 972-647-1893. All right. Yeah, you call and if the young lady's calling in, she can call in her email address also, and reach us at KNON is it .org. Contact the station at what is it, 972-828-9500, or it's 214-828-9500, and you get Clint at 223 extension 223 to get Clint. He'll take that information down for me. Thank you. All right, 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We still in our fall pledge drive. We're way down. We need some money to come in. 972-647-1893. Which line? Who's next? Is that line 3? That Mrs. Dewberry. All righty. All right. Good morning, Mrs. Dewberry.
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Great.
I just have a comment, actually 2 comments, and then I'll hang up and listen to your response.
Okay.
But up until 1967, Mexicans were classified as white. But they had opportunities whereby blacks didn't have opportunities to go to school with white, to work in certain jobs and everything.
You're right.
I guess I'm more or less for immigration reform. However, I feel like that they're overwhelmingly just taking over the country because they put a drain on every social service here that's available. Right. And it should be for our American citizens. Second of all, I just wanted to say, President Obama is a politician. He's not a civil rights activist. The weekend we were in Chicago was the bloodiest weekend. I think over 40 people were killed.
In one weekend.
But one thing that I've noticed is downtown Chicago.
No crime, is it?
No crime.
No. They make sure downtown Chicago is safe. They're not going to upset that business district. No. Yeah.
And the thing about it is, what I can't understand, over 540 people were killed in Chicago last year. I was going to say, where President Obama lives, Farrakhan lives in that area. Why is it that civil rights activists and leaders haven't come out about the killing in Chicago?
Well, Farrakhan has. He held a march, and guess how many people showed up against this killing, this violence? Guess how many people showed up? 200.
200.
Out of a city, a metropolitan area. I guess Chicago is what, about 10, 11 million? Metropolitan-wise, maybe 12 million?
Where's Jesse
200 showed up.
And Al Sharpton?
Well, they speak out against it. I listen to their shows, and they speak out against it. Here's the problem. Your national networks, your CNNs also, MSNBC, not as bad. Your Fox, but your ABC, NBC, CBS, they ignore this problem. They ignore it. What do you think if we had this many white children killing each other in our cities across America? That would have been an outcry that you could not believe that would be going on in America. It would be. But we were in black radio. We have to do our very best as we can to lift it up. Black people need to get on board and listen to those who look like them. That's going to give them information that's going to enhance what they're doing and try to help our community. because these national networks aren't going to do it. They're not going to do it. And you see what's happening? And think about it. What if this was white America? It would be an outcry like you've never seen in your life.
And I agree totally with you.
All righty.
I love your show, and I enjoy it, and just keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you for you and your husband for y'all's pledge. Thank you. All right, the collision line, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Where are we on line 4? All righty, let's say good morning to Randy. All righty, good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Brother Barnett.
Fine, how are you this morning? Thank you.
Doing great. You have a lot on the table.
Thank you.
One thing I'm going to have to agree to disagree with my pastor on, and that's the gun issue. You know, the Second Amendment, when it was written into our Constitution, they weren't worried about hunting rabbits. They were worried about keeping the redcoats away.
Right.
That's why they made that law. So it's when everybody starts talking about, well, you know, that gun's not designed for hunting. Well, it's not. When the Chinese first invented gunpowder, they weren't trying to kill rabbits. They were trying to either defend themselves or be aggressive.
Well, it was first made for Chinese New Year's, and it was made really basically that powder, which we now call gunpowder. It was not called gunpowder at that time. It was for entertainment, not for killing.
Right, but when they finally made a weapon out of it, it was for two purposes. One's for defense or aggression. That was the only two real purposes that they made them in the mass things that they do now. Now, I have a gentleman right down the street on the corner who builds my motors, has his own business. He has the license to carry a fully automatic weapon, and he has one. And he also has the license to carry a pistol on the side. And every morning when he gets up, he puts that pistol on. You'll see him have it in his workshop. You'll see him walk around cutting his grass and everything. And, you know, it's kind of like the gentleman was saying.
Well, now, if that weapon is not concealed, that's against the law, even in the state of Texas. You can get a license for a concealed weapon, but wearing them.
If you're on your personal property, you can wear it exposed.
Yeah, and plus he has a business. Yes, you can do that. But at the same time, when they made that law, what were they shooting? They wasn't shooting MK-47s. They were shooting muzzle loaders.
But that was the most advanced technology. At that time.
But they had never seen a nuclear weapon. They hadn't seen machine guns and all of these things that we have. You know, sometimes we have to revisit the Constitution.
That's where I'm going right there. That's where I'm going because see. The one thing that has really turned my mouth sour in America is these partial freedoms. It's like, well, the AK-47, you're too, what, you know about the old pot calling the kettle black? You know what I'm saying? We can't use you because you're too black, but because this lighter gun pistol over here, you're okay. You see what I'm saying? So either we need to allow freedoms of guns, which the gun is not killing the people, the crazy people are killing the people. Or we need to say, no more guns, period. Not a rifle, not a pistol, not a nothing. So going with
that
this
would be a great
freedom,
society there. Yeah.
Going with this half freedom is what's causing all the conflict. And quickly, I want to speak about immigration. There's one or two people that called in this morning that have a heart, that still know about humanity. Not this person, that person, from what country, this language, that language, from whoever. They still have a human heart. They want people to come. You know, people want the immigrants to come to. The thing on our Statue of Liberty means something during harvest season when they pick the fruits and everything. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. But when you get through picking that crop, we don't want to see you around. That's the sad reality of America. Either open the doors to everybody. Don't make it where it takes 15 years to become a citizen. If you're born here, you are a North American citizen. Come on. I mean, really?
All righty. Thank you. Thank you, Randy. All righty. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Reverend Crenshaw on line 2. All righty. Good morning, Reverend Crenshaw.
Good morning, Dr. Barnett. How you doing?
Thank you, and thank you for your pledge.
I'm doing okay. I'm just listening to what's going on this morning. I just had basically a couple of comments. Like the fellow was talking about the planes flying over with lowering your immune system.
Right.
They got many ways of doing that. It's all in the food. Now, let me not go into that. But then, because there's a plan called population decimation, then you got your eugenesis and all that kind of stuff. And then you had the Black Project, and which Tuskegee experiment was up under that.
Well, we had been under black codes since the 1870s also.
Yeah, I never knew exactly what the black codes were.
Well, they were codes that said that what we could and could not do, this was the law in certain states. And certain states implemented those laws. These are how Jim Crow laws and different things got implemented, that we were not to vote. We were not to go into certain areas. We could not have our own property in certain places. It was just a myriad of things. They were called black codes. And until this day, many of them are still silently enforced.
And then there's the grandfather clause.
Right.
About if your dad was had a drop of black blood or something. I think it's 137 black blood.
Yeah, 137, 188 for something like that.
180, something like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now I'm going to get to the special weapons and tactical. If you want to see them show up, you got a fully automatic weapon. Now, they know where all these weapons are when they flying these drones over, you know. And so don't think, and these, what you call them, people, survivalists and stuff, whatever they call them now, something else. But they know where they are. They know how deep they're in the ground, all that kind of stuff, just like bunkers over Syria or somewhere. And then
bunkers where they got that little boy, that man had holding that little boy in the United States.
Little boy where?
In the United States, in that little bunker. I think he's about 4, 5, 6 years old. He's got him held captive there, and won't let him go. A bunker right here in the United States. They got him over here, just like they have everywhere else.
Some kind of group has them for what purpose? I mean, you know.
Well, you can just only imagine. You can only imagine why people want assault weapons. Some would say, well, we're defending ourselves in case Russia or China, somebody invade us. But then again, I think there are other reasons. There are people who live in the country with them. They want them for also.
If you want my little input, all the weapons gonna get outlawed one day. God bless you. God keep you.
All righty. We thank you for your call and comment. All right. We need some money coming in. We only got a couple of more minutes on the air. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We got one line open. Please call us in, a tax-deductible pledge. Let me see. Yeah. Well, we're not even halfway of what we need today. We need a pledge. We need some pledges. 972-647-1893 is the number called. 972-647-1893. We need those pledges coming in. We need them. All righty. We'd like to thank what we have here. Icon Data Financial. No, is this the name right here? All right. And Financials. All right. Thank you. Jim Miller. Thank you. A wonderful pledge. Thank you. A wonderful pledge. That helps. But we need some more. And I have one line open. Wow, I got one line open. And that's unusual at this time of the show. Usually all jam now. But come on. 972-647-1893. I need that pledge coming in. Come on. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Need that pledge coming. Need it. Send it. Come on. Right now. Send that pledge in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Call us in a pledge. We need our pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. Call it in right now. We're just about time to go off there. We have only about a minute left. Come on. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Call us in the pledge, please. We need the money. We need it. Come on. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Call us in the place. Let's take one more call. Let's take another call. Who is this? Is this Mucho? Muchio? Where is he on line one? Let's see who's line one. All right. Good morning. You okay? No end.
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Struggling, but I took my Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. words to heart, sir. I would request that all listeners consider this, and I would like your response, but you won't be able to give it till next week. But Dr. King, in the later stages of his life, realized that this is true. This is a quote from Dr.
I tell you what, Muccio,
the triple evils of poverty, racism, and war are forms of violence that exist in a vicious cycle.
That's right. I tell you what, I gotta cut you off. I hate to do it. Call me next Saturday morning and we get it on. Call me early next Saturday morning. I'm Marion Barnett. I'm your host. You gotta get run. Thank all of you for producing. Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Annie, and thank you, Doc, for producing. I'm Senior Pastor Evelyn Joy Church. We're located at Bruden and Masters. Come see us. Service again at 11 o'clock Sunday morning, 9:30 Sunday school. Bible study Wednesday evening, 6:30. So come by and see us. Gotta run. Coming next is the Workers Beat. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people. Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.